Hello everyone, and welcome to the next cards in the Witchwood series that are being revealed. This is my first time doing this, it might be my only time doing this, where I'm going to be talking about all of the cards that are being released as they're being released. And then, when we know what all the cards are, I'm going to go back over them and give my full thoughts. Like most of the other card reviewers out there. So let's just get into this. So the first one we have is the Glittermoth. 5 cost for 4. Battle Cry. If your deck has only odd cost cards, double the health of your other minions. So 5 cost 4/4 right off the bat. It's kind of pathetic. It's a beast, but Priest doesn't care about beasts. The Battle Cry has some potential. I've never really known Priests to play a lot of minions. They do have a lot of low-cost minions. And they will sometimes play, you know, the small light elemental that makes your spells cost less. They'll play the Northshire Cleric. Turn 4, I believe, is Duskbreaker, which will clear the board. So this on turn 5 wouldn't really help in that sense. In a Raza Priest deck, you can see it more, but you have to have only odd cost cards, which means you can't have that 2 cost, 2/3 light elemental I just spoke of. So it would... This card would probably work best towards the old, make your attack equal to your health sort of priest decks. You know, where you'd buff up like the Northshire Cleric or the Gurabashi Berserker, and then you make its attack equal to its health, and then you kill. So in that kind of a deck, this would probably be pretty good. I don't remember what the Gurabashi Berserker's cost was. I think it's 4, so that might not work. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, but I'm not sure Priest is really up to the task of getting rid of its even cost cards. Priest really likes its even cost cards. But hey, maybe it could happen. Doubling the health of all of your other minions doesn't seem bad. I think it for the cost it should be all minions so that it includes all allied minions so that it includes itself, because 5 cost 4/4 is just pathetic. But we'll see. Next, the Mercenary Eel. 2 cost 2/3 Shaman card. Battle Cry. If your deck has only even cost cards, deal 2 damage. It's another beast, but Shaman doesn't care about beast either. Shaman doesn't really care about doing 2 damage in the early game. It has so many spells and abilities to do that already. A 2 cost 2/3 isn't bad, but that Battle Cry asks for so much and rewards so little. I don't honestly see it. If your deck is already going for the even cost things with, like, Gen, then this is a good card to put in that deck, but there needs to be better Shaman cards for that to be worth it. So, yeah, right now I don't see it. I will say that of the two, of the even cost or the odd cost, doing, again, Greymane even cost deck with Shaman does seem a little bit easier to do. They have a lot of good even cost cards, and their odd cost cards aren't, you know, too painful to get rid of. So I could see an even cost Shaman deck, but I think it needs more than just Gen Greymane in this Mercenary Eel. Next is the Gloom Stag. 5 cost 2/6. Taunt, Battle Cry. if your deck has only odd costs cards, gain +2/+2. So this I could see actually being pretty good. It's a 5-cost 4/8 with taunt, which isn't terrible. We talked about how with the phantasms down here, we talked about how having a 4/8 with taunt for 6 isn't really worth it, but for 5 and in Druid, that makes a lot more sense. And I could definitely see it. It does really hurt Druid to get rid of their even cost cards, but they do have ramp in the odd costs. You have Innervates, you have the 3-cost, gain an empty mana crystal and summon a Jade. You have the 5-cost Nourish, and that's really all you need for a ramp style. I don't know of too many good odd cost cards off the top of my head for Ramp Druid to be ramping to, but, you know, there's tons of legendaries that you could do that with, so that's not really a big issue. I could see it, but I don't think the Gloom Stag is going to, like, make that deck all on its own. But if that deck ends up working, Gloom Stag will be a welcome addition to it. A 5-cost 4/8 with taunt is pretty good for Druid. Not amazing, but not bad. And finally, we have the Black Cat, a 3-cost 3/3 beast for Mage. Spell damage +1, Battlecry. If your deck has only odd cost cards, draw a card. I don't see it, to be perfectly honest. Mages love their even cost cards. They love Fireball. They love Frostbolt. They love a few others that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I know that that's not the only two. They love their blizzards. There we go. There was another one. Now, this does allow you to get off Flame Strike still. It does allow you to play the Mana Worm and some like arcane missiles. You could potentially cheat this out by putting Antonidas in your deck. He's a 7-cost, and the fireballs he spawns doesn't start in your deck, so you could get away with that. But that is sort of asking a lot just for this one card to work, and it's only a 3-cost 3/3. It's only spell damage +1, and it's only drawing a card. Admittedly, this is a lot better, in my opinion, than like Arcane Intellect, which is a 3-cost card, draw 2 cards. With this, you're drawing 1 card, but you have a 3/3 body on top of it. It's better, but I'm not convinced. I think we need to see more odd cost cards for Mage if we want this card to have any bearing in it at all. If an odd cost deck works, this could be good. Spell damage is very scary for Mage to have, so they'll definitely want to get rid of it. So if nothing else, it's a good distraction for something else. But yeah, I think that even if if there are good odd cost cards to go into an odd cost Mage deck, I think this card will be booted for those. But maybe, just maybe, it'll get played. But we'll just have to wait and see. So you know, I don't do star ratings. I just don't do them. Usually what I'll do is I'll give a thumbs up, I'll give a maybe thumbs, and a thumbs down. Like, is it a good card? Is it a maybe card? Is it a not good card? And, to be perfectly honest, I don't think I did that with the other cards. So real fast, just as a little bonus thing, I'm going to go through all of these right now and tell you whether thumbs up, middle, or thumbs down right now. when all of them come out, I'll do it again. But you know, because then we'll have a more clear representation of what the decks are going to be like, what the rest of the cards are, whether or not these other cards have like a chance in hell of seeing play. So the Glittermoth, I'm going to give a maybe. The Mercenary Eel, I'm going to give a no. The Gloom Stag, I'm going to give a yes. And the Black Cat, I'm going to give a no. And Gen Greymane, I'm going to give a maybe. Pumpkin Peasant, I'm going to give a maybe. Phantom Militia, I'm going to give a yes. Militia Commander, I'm going to give a yes. Baku the Moon Eater, I'm going to give a maybe. And Azalina Soul Thief, I'm going to give a... I'm thinking about it. It's sort of somewhere between maybe and no. But because whenever I have that sort of middling feeling, I'll usually go with maybe, because I think that is just a safe place to be. Azalina Soul Thief probably won't work, but in the few cases it does, it'll be sweet, sweet victory. And just to explain, the yes, maybe, no doesn't mean that it's, you know, that it's a garbage card if it's no, or that if it's yes, it's going to be seen in every deck. No, it's just saying, like, if it is a good card. Not necessarily in this meta, not necessarily in any future metas, but is it a card that you would be okay with getting? Like, if you opened a pack and you got this, would it be okay? Like, would you be disappointed? Would you be happy with that? And that's sort of where I'm going with. So, sort of like with the Mercenary Eel, if the rest of them was commons and like completely negligible, and Mercenary Eel was your blue, would you be happy with getting that as your blue? No. You'd probably say, well, that was a bum deck, and you'd move on. That's why it gets a no. Anyway, so that was my rating for the 4 new cards, as well as the re-rating with these cards, because I forgot to do it. So I'll see you guys when the next cards are revealed. I think they said it's going to happen on March 26th, unless they decide to give out a few more cards early like they did this time. But we'll see. So, goodbye, everybody.